Hello, my name is Calvin, and welcome to the Tech I Missed. I'm waiting on some parts for the Mac Classic, so I've pushed that aside for a little bit. I took the analog board out, and today is a little sunny, so I started to retrobrite it. It's outside now, so we'll see how that turns out. I did retrobrite a mouse already, but this is for the older. This is from the older. Can't see the light. Oh, this is for the older Macs. It turned out pretty well, actually. I'll try to put it before and after. But in any case, so I'm going to do some retrobrighting today. But I'm not just going to be retrobrighting. So this is one of my Vic 20s. This is the keyboard. And one of the things that's wrong with it is that the keys on the upper right top corner are not working. So I'm going to take this apart the rest of the way, and then see what the issue is with those keys, and then probably, well, I'm going to clean it up, of course, and then I'm probably going to clean and retrobrite this as well. I've already got the tag off of that part. I need to get the LED out and that tag, and clean it up and retrobrite it. I guess I can show you my little box for what I do for smaller things or systems for retrobrighting. Of course, the Mac case was a little too large for my box, but oh shit, that wasn't a good idea. In any case, so that's what we're gonna do, and so let's get on to it. So I've taken all of the screws out of the back plate of the keyboard, and I need to unsolder the wires from the shift lock. It's a fairly simple process. They're really thin and the solder's not hard to get off, so it's just a matter of quick desoldering. The space bar is a little bit tougher, but just need some pliers and to pull out the thick gauged wire that's holding it in there, and then pull it out of the hole, the little slot it's in, and there you go. Keyboard's pretty dirty, but as you can see here, there's a melted spot on where the shift key goes, and I have no idea how that would have happened, but it's there. Anyway, so we're going to clean this up with the rest of the keys and the keyboard itself. You can see that the pad for the keyboard is not really in that bad of condition. That's just the case, of course. But here you can see that the keyboard itself, the pads that you push, there doesn't appear to be a single thing wrong with them. It's very clean and there's no corrosion anywhere at all. So I assume, well, I don't know, because some of the plungers got switched, so it can't really be that. So I'm not sure what the deal is with the keyboard. Some of the buttons are still hard to press, but as you can see, this is really clean. So maybe some rewiring or resoldering the wires could help. We'll see in the future. And now I'll just take my pocket knife and carefully lift up the retaining ring from the LED. It's fairly easy to get off of there. And once that's off, you can squeeze on the other piece that holds in the LED and push in on the LED at the same time, like this. It's a little difficult, but it's not that bad. You just kind of want to get those pieces squeezed together or out to allow for the LED to slide past them. So you gotta, there, yeah. So you just pull it out a little bit to keep them from wedging the LED in, and then you'll be good. And then now, to get that out, you just squeeze it and push it out the other side. Just like that. Pretty simple. Now I'm going to take the power label off, and again, I'm going to use my knife. But you want to get on there, get it underneath there really as flat as you can so you don't crease it or bend it up in any, but it's not too difficult. You just want to get the knife under there and sort of just cut the glue. Don't cut the case or the badge. Just get what you can under there that's hard, and that's going to not lift up the badge at such an angle that it's going to crease it or something. It's hard to get while you're doing this work. It's hard to make sure you're looking at the camera, but there we go. And you just slide it on down there. I'm being very careful with this one because those yeah, it's really thin right there. And then just pop it out, and there you go. Then I'll wash those with some alcohol or whatever I can, some solvent, to get the glue off, and the same with the case. So I've washed the case, and I think it's not that bad. I'm not going to retrobright it. I mean, I don't see any terrible discoloration. If anything, it's too white. You can see on the inside it's more of a cream color than on the outside. So I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I did get a good cleaning though. It looks a lot better. I will show you the retrobrighting from the Mac Classic that I had going while I was making this video here in a second. But yeah, that looks pretty good. I don't think there's any need to retrobright it. So here is the Mac Classic, and it looks a lot better than it did before. It's actually silver. It looked like it was beige before, but I guess not. It's gray. So I'll show you a before and after. Once I get the front plate on here, you can see the before and after, and it's a pretty stark difference. So there's the new. And here comes the old. I mean, that's crazy. Big difference. Okay, so I got the keyboard keys and the back plate washed, or the front plate washed off the keyboard, so I'm just putting it all back together now. You're probably going to hear me say it more than once because I'm kind of ticked about it, but I lost my 9 key down the drain. And I even took the drain apart, and it actually got flushed past the part that bows down and then up. So I guess the water pressure was so hard that it pushed it all the way down through to the outlet. So it's gone forever. So I'll have to get a new 9 key at some point. And I should be able to find a trash VIC-20 somewhere or something that will have spare keys. I need some spare parts anyway. Actually, this computer was going to be that, but it worked fairly well, so I decided to keep it together and fix it up a little bit. So I'm just putting the back plate back on, and then I'm going to resolder the wires, put the rest of it back together, and test it out. I move really fast. I'm like the Flash. And the wires are pretty easy to solder, just like they are to desolder. Yeah, now we're done soldering, and it looks pretty good. I did get the steel, like I said in my last video that I needed. Turn that off. There's a little peek at the solder job. I'll clean it up, do the rest. So we have our clean keyboard plate, and I'm going to put the keys on it now. I'm going to start with the function keys since they're pretty much out of the way. Then I'm going to put the space bar on, and it's just a matter of putting it through on one end and then bending out the other end just enough to where it'll go into the hole. You obviously don't want to stretch it out too far. It's pretty hard to do anyway. But once that is on, which takes me a good minute, put the spring on, give her a little once over once it gets in there, and now we'll do some fast motion key placement. Super mega enhanced fast speed for your pleasure. This might look like it's taking a long time, or seem to you in this video that it's taking a long time, which is about a minute, but it's way faster. It took me probably about 10-15 minutes. So trying to find all the keys, making sure I put them in the right spot, and then crying about my 9 key. Okay, I didn't cry, but still, it's annoying. And there's the Commodore key, last to go on, of course. Except for that 9 key. Yeah, there I am bitching about it. Damn it. What can you do? Okay, so now we're going to put the double-sided tape on the badges, and I'm just cutting, obviously, cutting around. This sort of tape is basically not even really tape. It's kind of like glue with two backings on it. So if you don't get it cut exactly right, you can sort of like just move the glue around with your fingers so that it's not sticking out over the edges. So there's not like any porous or any hard material that holds the adhesive on. It's basically just the adhesive itself once you take the backings off. So you're not really taking any, big, huge chances of anything sticking out the edge because you can just move it because it's just like that goopy, rubbery glue type stuff. And there's the power button on, or not the power button, but the power label. And then put the Vic 20 label on. And again, as you can see, when I take the backing off, it's basically just clear jelly type adhesive. I think you know what I'm talking about. We've all seen it before. That stuff that gets all over your fingers and you can't get it off, and no matter what you do, you try to move it off your finger and it just goes to a different spot and sticks. It's a pretty common thing. And there it is, all nice and pretty on the case. So it looks good. Pretty happy the way the case turned out, even though I didn't do much to it. I just cleaned it. Now it's time to put the LED back in, which is even simpler than it was to take out. Put the retaining, not the retaining ring, but the clamp that holds in the LED. Put that in and then shove that LED past it. Got to push kind of hard to get it in there, but once it's in, it stays just fine. Then you just put the retaining ring back over and you're all set. So I'm going to put the board in, and I wanted to show you that I put a fan there where it gets really hot. And I just attached the leads from the fan to the capacitor there. And then I'm going to put the board in and we're going to test it out. Just to let you know though, this is not done. I mean, I'll be taking this apart again and doing things to it. This is just a quick test of how well it runs. And the keyboard, I really wanted to see how the keyboard was working. I'll be doing more, I'll be doing a little bit more of a precise job with things. Like I'll put a diode in with the fan and things like that, which I didn't do here, just because I'm not going to be using it long. Try to run this thing. It's that free thing I got. Video. Oh, there we go. All right, it's working. Oh, you can hear the fan. I will eventually probably get a temperature uh, what's it called? It looks like a little transistor, but it's a temperature sensor. Probably eventually get a temperature sensor to attach to this fan, but for now it's okay. It's not that loud. And I do need to get a 9 key because I can't believe I lost that. I lost it down the drain, and it went down. It went up and through the curve and into the waste. So, oh look, I can still hit the 9 key though. So as you can probably see here, even with the focus not being very good because my fat head's in the way, the keys still aren't working that well. Whatever. Like I said, I'm going to open this back up again and go through it with a fine-tooth comb and, you know, see what's going on. And I'm just going to do my favorite poop loop program here and see how it works. Call it a day. Okay, so that's the Vic 20 stuff. A little bit. Like I said, I don't think I'm gonna. Thank you. Yeah, you can hear it. You can hear it pretty well. But it was getting really, really hot, so it's all right. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. This is just a. Is it hitting something? Great. I think it's hitting something. Or something's hitting it. It's probably a wire. Anyway, I'm done with it for now. We'll get back to another Vic 20 another time. My other one. But, okay. So, there's that Vic 20 that I hurt by losing the 9 key. Thanks for watching. Take care.